Yo guys, it's your boy Yellow, the Norwegian hardcore PC gamer, and today I figured that I should make a video about why people are aiming at walls here and there, whether or not it's intended or not. Now quickly about this gameplay, this was me playing on my main account the other day with a Patreon, so if you want to play with me, you should probably become one of those people. That aside, let's talk about applications of looking at walls, why you would like to do that, and I'll also mention a couple of things related to whether or not people are cheating and or what a cheater would technically normally do if he is one of those cheaters that literally are dumb enough to be fucking looking at somebody through a wall, in which in some cases aim lock is involved, but I'll get to that in a second. So about the like applications of looking at walls, you might think like, what the hell is Yellow talking about? Are there even any purposes at looking at walls? Well, if you're more of a noob or new-ish player, tactically speaking, you will not understand or find any use for looking at a wall, but technically speaking, this means that there are many things that you will not be affected by, especially a flashbang. A flashbang? You will get flashed if it's within your HUD, which thus means that the smaller HUD you got, the less affected from a flashbang you'll be, which is actually one of the indirect 4:3 resolution benefits that I've not really thought about ever before. Regardless, in a strategy, let's say that you are playing as a CT, you're playing up close at the balcony section on Mirage, and you want to defend, and you want to, wait for the enemy team. Maybe we could imagine this to be Virtus Pro, for example. You're waiting for them to rush the site. Now, in the past, people would do it in a very blunt manner. So the enemy team might be throwing a flashbang, you are already holding the angle, and you then dodge away from the flashbang, and then you readjust your aim and you're taking gunfights. Now that is a very dumb, tactically speaking, way of doing things. So people started to develop strategies that are pretty basic. They started to look at a wall very close by, in which thus meant that they could just whip out their aim after the flashbang popped. Thus, you just wait for the audio cue, and you can actually get to that gunfight and be a little bit more accurate faster than if you had to dodge and then readjust, okay? Makes pretty basic sense. However, the metagame evolved once again. Later down the line, closer to recent times, people started to not just throw one flashbang as they were pushing, but two or maybe three. Now, ways to counter this would be to bait, make fake rushes, or the CT side even flashing himself and flashing multiple times as well, because both teams can, technically speaking, do these things, which makes for a couple of very crazy and very almost scrub-looking like rushes from pro teams going on to different sites. It's very interesting and convoluted, all of these things, but tactically speaking, this actually gives a decent application for people literally looking at the wall. Now going over to the X-ray part of what you people tend to experience a little bit more of rather than not. In many cases, or not many, but in some cases, people will look approximately at somebody through a wall. Now, the interesting part here is that it's, in most case scenarios, unless an actual proper aimbot locking is going down, it's probably nothing. And that is the most interesting part also. People really love to jump to conclusions when it comes down to whether or not somebody are getting aimed at throughout the wall. In some scenarios, it could be somebody checking a couple of corners. In my previous video, that was literally what was happening. I was really fucking rusty after playing, not playing the game for just about 3 months. I was trying to hurry up because I only knew that one guy was at B and the other guy was behind the T main. I had no information about that. I just checked the corners terribly, just okay-ish, and then the number 2 guy peaked, so suddenly I had the entire clutch situation under control, and I won the round. Regardless, fact was that these two people being closer to the B site, my angle there, like, it's just pure RNG. And even worse is, some people will literally sit down and be like, Yellow is obviously cheating, and in their mind, they'll think this is aim lock. But they don't understand what aim lock truly is. When you are watching aim lock, it's mechanics beyond what a human is capable of doing, and that is the entire point of a cheater, or rather people obviously cheating and then getting banned for it, which is why I really enjoy people cheating. The more you cheat, the more obvious you have to become. The more you have to pressure what limits will seem fair or not when you're then getting reviewed by Overwatch, and thus you will get banned, which is why you should never cheat. So just to explain aim lock, so you people truly get the point, if you didn't already. Some of you probably didn't, but some of you did. So an aim lock, that would be my aim literally being 100% glued to the middle, normally middle of a hitbox of the enemy. And the reason for the middle is because accuracy in this game you can't manipulate. However, you can manipulate your aim, which means that the thus aimbot effect comes into play, and yeah, it's just a fucking mess. However, when it then comes down to how I move, my aim is always 100% fucking relative to his head, and it's really obvious when you're looking at a perfect example. However, perfect examples of proper aimbotters, they're just becoming more and more rare because they always get caught by Overwatch, thus they're obviously not as popular. But hopefully people enjoyed this video and learned a lot about why people might be looking at walls, how these aim locks should look like, at least through walls and such things, and why people tend to do these things. Also, don't forget that we're playing on a very small map, people. Obviously, when you're facing 5 other people, eventually you and I will eventually hover over somebody else throughout the wall. It doesn't need to mean anything unless they're doing some serious fucking dodgy shit in terms of their mechanics, which doesn't happen in my case because I'm pretty terrible, I guess. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you people want to catch me live, do follow me on Twitch. I'll be live when this video is up, so yeah, enjoy. Thanks for watching, thanks for the support, thanks for being a Patreon if you are. Have a nice day, and don't get beastified when you play.